Hi, I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Rihanna, and welcome back to Fresh Off the Broke.
Fresh Off the Broke is about personal experiences growing up Asian American in a predominantly white community, Asian media, and Asian pop culture in general. Race has always been a sensitive topic. Every day there are debates over race. With our podcast, we intend to shed light on the experiences of first-generation Asian immigrants, not put them on a pedestal.
We understand that race isn't everything, but there should be an acknowledgement of people of color, the knowledge gap, and the racial divide that will ideally be broken. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into the episode. Today we will be discussing everything store.
Now, before we kick off this episode, let's talk about why we're doing this, or like what is the point.
Yeah.
Basically, the second Halloween ended, Christmas just erupted.
Yeah.
It was like someone had thrown all their trash, or just they were trying to make sure their room looked presentable, so they threw everything in the closet, and it was just filled to the brim. And the second Halloween was over, the door just exploded off of the closet, and everything came flying out.
Yeah.
That's
like
how
overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Just
The
no more
second.
Halloween. All Christmas.
Yeah, and there's all those memes, right? The October 31st versus November 1st. We're going to say November 31st. Which, I mean, if it was November 31st, it would be even more Christmassy.
Yeah. So no, people are crazy. Overnight, they just total switch up.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because the thing is, people will leave Christmas decorations on for a pretty long time, but I've yet to see people leave their Halloween decorations for a really long time.
Yeah. And the thing that I see, if anything, is people do the Nightmare Before Christmas type decoration for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So then when November 1st arrives, every character just has a Christmas hat on or something.
Yeah.
So it's like technically it is Halloween decoration, but it's called the Nightmare Before Christmas. So like,
Yeah.
you know.
Would you classify that? What kind of movie would you classify that as? Is it a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie?
I say Christmas, but I guess it's interchangeable. I don't know. Comment down below what you guys think, because
Yeah, you know what? We can make a poll about this later.
yeah, we fully could.
Mm-hmm. When this episode comes out, soon, I will make a poll on our Instagram at Fresh Off the Broke.
Yes.
Where you can vote. Because if we do it now, it's gonna seem very out of place.
Yeah.
What? But yeah, how do you usually approach the whole? It's Christmas time.
See, I really have a personal vendetta, I guess, against Christmas music.
Oh God.
I do not like Christmas music at all. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's just something about the Christmas season. I mean, call me the Grinch or whatever, but it makes me feel
I will.
depressed. You know, it's like the end of the year. I don't know.
Mhm.
And actually recently I was at a grocery store, and this was before Halloween. Like it was in the middle of October, and they were blasting Christmas music. Blasting.
Oh really?
Yes. And it made me sick to my stomach. I was like, I need to get out of here. I really do not like Christmas music, especially when it's too early. Like, I think that Christmas music for the month of December, I'm fine with that. But when you're pushing it into November and October, no, I can't handle it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's something called Christmas in July, which I don't mean in Christmas for people in Australia. I just mean people doing a pregame or just starting their shopping very early.
Oh, see, my family does the Christmas in July thing. Funny that you mentioned that, because So like we have family all over the world. So
Yes.
we like since July's in the middle of the summer, most people are free during the summer, so we just end up celebrating Christmas in July with everybody.
Oh,
Which this
that's
isn't like a
cute.
yearly thing. This is like a once in a while thing, but it is a thing that my family does. And let me just say, I am also not a fan of that. Just it's summer. Let me go swimming. Why are you in a Santa Claus costume? Like what? But yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what that must be like, you know, living in Australia and then it snows in July and it's not
Yeah.
Christmas, but it is Christmas.
I can't even imagine.
If you're from Australia, let us know.
Yeah.
Tell us about the experience. I've never been to Australia. I've never had a Christmas in July. I'd like to know. Just me. No. Comment down below or shoot us a DM.
Yeah. Let us know.
Give us a little story time.
Yeah. Fully.
Yeah. Was it Christmas pop music or was it Christmas carol music?
I would say Christmas carol music is the one I hate the most. Christmas pop music, like let's just say, okay, Justin Bieber album, that's fine. I'm cool with that. The Ariana
Oh, like
Grande album,
mistletoe?
yes, that one specifically I'm fine with. Ariana Grande, that's cool too. I guess Michael Bublé, some of it, like the upbeat ones for Michael Bublé, I don't like.
You seem very well versed in Christmas
I
pop
am.
music.
I don't know why. It's just, it's one of those things that I've just like not enjoyed. But especially like old Christmas music, like what's that song? Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. You know, like
Oh,
the
A Holly Jolly Christmas? Is
no,
that
not that one. The chestnuts roasting on an open fire, that one.
I'm not sure if I know that one. Maybe I do and I just don't remember at the moment, but it's okay.
It's yeah, it's just an old and it's slow. I don't like it.
Uh-huh.
Anything old and slow makes me depressed. Don't take that out of context. But yeah.
Wasn't going to, but let our viewers or listeners know not to do that. Don't take what she said out of context.
Yeah. So, what about you? How do you feel about Christmas?
My family doesn't celebrate Christmas. So for me, Christmas time is more of just things look different, you know?
Mm.
Like, okay, November, December, things. And when I say things look different, I basically just mean decorations are up.
Hmm.
Look, there's a Christmas tree at the mall. You know, for me, it's very much, as an outsider, more of an aesthetic thing. But I mean, at the same time, as time has gone on, Christmas has become a very commercial holiday. Because, you know, like, it wasn't originally that.
Yeah.
And so I guess I get more of that perspective. Because you know, since my family doesn't celebrate Christmas, we don't have like Christmas decorations in the house or exchange Christmas presents or anything. At the most, it would be, you know, in the past when I used to do choir and stuff like that, we would go to retirement homes or nursing homes, hospitals, and have Santa
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 Claus.
hats. We would have Santa hats on, and we
That's fun.
Mm-hmm. So that's my experience of Christmas.
That sounds very wholesome.
Mm-hmm. You know, like
That feels like very traditional Christmas, like
I was a Christmas
Christmassy
caroler, I
things.
guess.
Yeah, you fully were.
A professional Christmas carol. I'm not a professional Christmas caroler, but kind of.
I think you technically were. Are there professional Christmas carolers?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm sure there are.
Interesting. I say you were.
I'll take that. Actually, one time I wasn't there for this specific day, but there was a mishap with the booking of one of the homes or centers. And so they didn't end up being able to perform that day. And so since they were already out, they just sang in the street.
Oh, wow.
Passerby.
That's very
So they did
Christmassy.
Rio Christmas Carol. Well, not like that, but you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
they did
like they were on the
actual
street.
classic Christmas caroling.
Yeah.
Random passerby. Do people actually go to across like around the neighborhood and carol? I've seen that in movies, but I don't know if that's real.
I think it was like an older thing. I don't think people do that nowadays. I've never been. Wait.
I think
No, I've never experienced that.
I think people probably do it, but maybe just not
in the city.
Here?
Yeah. Maybe like smaller towns, it would make sense to do that because like it's
spreading the holiday joy. What if you just knocked and someone opened the door and you started singing and they slammed the door shut in your face?
See, I feel like I would be the person slamming the door.
And I would be the caroler?
No, if you came to my door, I would be like, stop singing and come inside.
And then you would slam the door on the rest of the people?
Yes.
Ouch.
So yeah, no. Why, like, I don't know. Don't come to my door singing if I don't know you. That's weird.
Only if you know them?
Yeah, only if I know you and yeah.
You can come to my door anytime and just start singing.
Yeah. I would love to be serenaded, even if it's not Christmas. Yeah.
Gave me an idea.
Okay. I take back everything I've said.
Anyway, so why are we doing this episode, and what is the deal with everything stores?
Everything stores, also known to some as like variety stores, they are the Asian equivalent to a general goods stores, but they are an upgraded version of that. So think of a dollar store, but it's actually aesthetically pleasing. Things are generally more organized than in dollar stores. And things are pretty cheap, but they also have things on the more expensive side. So these expensive things may be like pots or pans or skincare, but they also have
China.
Yeah, literal China. Like it's crazy, but they also have, regular snacks, stationery, decorations, like hair accessories, food, kitchen stuff, you name it. They probably have it.
Yeah. And the reason why we decided to attach this to early Christmas, if I can say it, is it even early Christmas? At this point, July is early Christmas.
Yeah, I feel like it's technically the Christmas season, I guess.
And so the reason why we're attaching everything stores to this pre-Christmas, or depending on how you view Christmas, it's just in the circle of Christmas.
Yeah.
It's because we think that this is a great place to go shopping and just have a good time. And also, it's a fun little part of Asian culture.
Yeah.
And despite it being a dollar store like place, the quality is pretty great. At least in our experiences. And so if you really wanted, you could do some Christmas shopping there for friends, family, just someone you want to give presents to.
Yeah, maybe even yourself.
Yeah.
I know I do that.
And the fun thing about the prices is that since they're on the lower side and the quality is pretty good, you could maybe get a pack. Well, not a package as in a pre-made package, but some stores do have those.
Yeah.
You could get, a little bundle of things, get your friend some stationery, some makeup, a few snacks, You don't have to get them just one very expensive thing, which, you know, if that's what you want to do, go ahead.
Yeah.
But here are some alternatives, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, I've always loved everything stores.
Yeah, same. It felt like a fun trip because there's just
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Yeah, and I don't know, I just loved especially the way that those stores were designed, like interior design wise,
Mm-hmm.
because, you know, they have everything, but then it's like you have little corners. And I mean, I know that that's basically most stores. For example, grocery stores, they have the seafood section and the vegetable section or whatever. But they, with everything stores, because they basically have everything,
Yeah.
you could go from one place where there's notebooks all the way to furniture and like mattresses or something.
Fully.
And then snacks.
Yeah,
And then headphones.
and then there's like a whole wall of just stuffed animals.
Yeah, and then decorative water fountain.
Yeah.
Mini
It's
Ferris
crazy.
wheel. I love
Like
it here.
a whole row of air purifiers or humidifiers that are on.
Yeah.
So
And
great.
sometimes they have clothes too.
Yeah.
Not just accessories.
Yeah, like full on like shirts, pants.
Mm-hmm. We're just listing products at this point. Puzzles.
Yeah.
Picture frames.
Mini vacuums.
Generally, I've always loved them growing up just because, I don't know, the collective experience of going to an everything store,
Mm-hmm.
being able to look at things even if you weren't buying them, and just the general aesthetic.
It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to be in them. Good environment, good vibes.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
How to describe everything Asian everything stores? 2 words. Good vibe.
Yeah.
I could live with that. What do you think? Well, not what do you think. What were your usual go-to things to buy at an everything store?
Probably okay, snacks for sure. Some nice gel pens
The gel
because
pen.
they always have those.
Mm-hmm.
And like not the ones that like skip, the ones that are smooth to write with. Very
Mm-hmm.
particular. And probably like a stuffed animal because I have a collection.
So do I.
They're always like really nice stuffed animals too at the everything stores. Like I don't
Yeah,
know.
they're always super cute.
There's something about like the difference between Western and Asian stuffed animals. That could be a whole episode, but like just to sum it up, they're way cuter. Yeah.
I don't disagree.
What about you? What are your go-to things?
For me, probably stationery
Mm.
and then some random home appliances, for example, maybe containers or
Oh yeah.
holders, like pencil case holders and things like that,
Yeah.
or mini mirrors, like nail kits. I don't mean nail kits like nail polish kits, like they have these little kits where you have like nail clippers, tweezers, files, and stuff like that,
Oh
and it's all
yeah.
in one little compact case.
And the case is always really cute too.
Yeah, sometimes they'll be patterned or they have like a solid color.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I think I might have gotten not makeup, but makeup adjacency
Mm.
from everything stores.
Oh yeah,
And
me too.
the interesting thing about everything stores is that even though they're not an exclusive stationery store, their stationery is always just on a different level. They
Yeah.
have 50 different gel pens
Oh my god.
in hundreds of colors.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of the other stores probably have this too, but they'll have paper on the side of the rack so that people can test the pens. You
Yeah.
see all the random things people write on there.
Yeah.
Even that is just an experience in itself.
Mm. Yeah, and the pens are always like either regular pens or like these funky design pens where like the pen itself is like a vegetable or like
Yeah, it
a
just looks like,
character.
yeah, it'll look like green onion or
I have a green
radish,
onion pen.
carrot.
My
That's why I
favorite pen.
mentioned it. I also love the multicolor pen.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, I think the quality is just a little bit better. And also I like the designs on them.
Yeah.
This is just us gushing over
I
everything.
know.
But you should have known that.
Yeah. They're great.
Hmm. And I don't know, just the designs overall for most things are just very cute, very visually pleasing, aesthetically pleasing. And, you know, of course, not to like shade Western stores. But for example, if I wanted to buy a notebook and I went to a Western office supply store or something like that, the notebook would maybe be $10.
Yeah.
And it would be a very plain design or not have a design.
Mm-hmm.
But then, if I were to go to an Asian variety store, then I could get something cheaper and maybe even better quality and just a cuter design in general.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think that's a very like big difference for me personally that if I have to go to like a Western dollar store, I'm buying an item for the sake of like I only need this item. I need this item for its purpose. But when
Mm.
I'm going to like a Asian variety store, it's like I'm buying this item for its purpose, but also it serves another purpose like aesthetically or like it's cuter, you know? Like I actually
Hmm.
want to buy the item versus I have to buy this item and this is the only choice I have.
Yeah, you would buy, for example, maybe a cute water bottle from an everything store, but you wouldn't buy a water bottle at the dollar store.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
Western dollar store, I mean.
And it's not good for my bank account, but anything for the aesthetic, am I right?
Comment down below if you agree or
God.
disagree, or maybe don't comment if you disagree. I don't think this episode is for you. You hate everything stores. I wonder how often people click in on something that they feel strongly again.
Yeah.
Do you think they listen all the way through?
Probably not. They probably listen until like the one key sentence and then they comment like, this is the worst video ever, you know?
Maybe.
Let's talk about some popular local everything stores. Not sponsored, but we wish it was.
Yeah, I mean, maybe next time you hear your name
Yeah.
mentioned, you could maybe consider it.
We're glad to do some business.
You know, we think very fondly of these everything stores, so
Please,
shoot a DM, shoot an
please.
email our way at freshoffthebroke88@gmail.com.
We're open.
Wink, wink.
Oh yes, and I will be doing a plushie rating for every one of these stores.
Yes, an informal, impromptu plushie
Yes.
rating.
Yes. Because I feel that is important.
Yes, it will be a Rihanna TM plushie rating.
Yeah.
Let's start with one, or I guess their full name would be One Better Living. So when Rihanna and I were talking earlier about stores with water fountains, decorative water fountains or Ferris wheel, we were basically referencing this store. So one, at least from my childhood, it was my OG, like everything store. And it's a Chinese store that was founded around 2002 in Markham. And growing up, I always loved going there just because, like I said earlier, the general aesthetic and just the way that everything was placed, which is so beautiful. And especially their kitchen appliances section. I don't know, you walk in, and then there's the fountain, then the humidifier, and then there's this giant corner of appliances, like teacups, things like that. And then the general kitchen appliances would be somewhere else. Like the water bottles and everything.
They have like the aesthetic side and then like the other side.
Well,
I mean, they're all aesthetic,
aren't the
but
plushies in the other side?
they are. They are. I take back what I said.
You're slandering your own. Someone comment down below telling Brianna that she just. I don't know what she just did there. Comment exactly. I don't know what Rihanna just did there at insert timestamp.
No. Don't.
They will. No, they won't. Don't do that. Or you could. Maybe one of you could. Do it for the meme.
Start crying when I read it.
I mean, at least you'll know that it was prompted and not a random. I don't know what Rihanna was talking about there.
That is true. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. One's has the giant plushie wall. I think out of all the ones we're going to talk about, they have the most display, at least, and variety. For ones, I would say the plushies are a 4.5 out of 5.
All right.
This is a general this is general due to the variety, the amount of plushies, the variety of size of plushies, the cuteness of all of them. Yeah, I take off half a star because sometimes they're a little bit like wonky looking.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they make up for that in the amount of plushies that they have and the sizes that they come in. So yeah, 4.5 out of 5.
I see. We'll have to see how the rest of these ratings play out. I do agree on what you say about how they might have the largest display, because they'll have these very large, I don't know if I should call them racks, but they have this huge section, and it'll be like 3-4 shelves.
Yeah.
And even the top shelf is filled with the giant plushies and everything. And even outside of the plushie section, there will be plushies just in whatever other sections that kind of relate. Like maybe in stationery there'll be a little figurine or a little plushie. Well, figurines aren't plushies, but you understand what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a reading buddy.
Yeah, this store is I think in the ones that we're going to talk about is a medium to large sized one.
It's pretty wide. It's not, out of all the ones I've seen, they don't seem to have more than one floor.
Yeah.
And it's just one very wide plot of land. Yeah, I'll say land.
Still very aesthetically pleasing. And it feels big when you're inside.
Yeah, they have relatively high-rise ceilings, which personally, I love high-rise ceilings. For houses, malls, libraries, classrooms, high-rise ceilings, everything, please.
Yes. Much better.
Yeah, if you're going to invite me somewhere, make sure it has high-rise ceilings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, we have Miniso, which is a little bit younger than Ones. They were founded in 2009 and then launched around 2013. And it's a Chinese and Japanese brand. Basically, when you look it up, they say that it was a partnership between a Chinese entrepreneur and a Japanese designer. And the thing is, the store basically, the brand launched in China, but then like the general aesthetic is a little bit of a fusion between Chinese and Japanese. And there used to be, and there kind of still is, a bit of confusion around that because people will say like, oh, it's a Chinese company pretending to be Japanese or the other way around. But no, it's just kind of a mix.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that store, when I first came across it when I was in China, in Guangzhou, which is where they launched, so that was pretty cool.
Mhm.
And in China, it was advertised as a $5 store just because, you know, currency value. So for us, it would probably be like, oh, a dollar store, but in China, it would be like a $5 store. Kind of like how in Japan, their dollar store would be a 100 yen store.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a 1 yen store. And the place is very white. Like the walls, the ceilings, everything is white.
Well illuminated.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, mini kind of suits the name. It's a relatively box-sized store. Sometimes it might be a wider, short rectangle, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Rectangular prism. Taking a geometry. Geometry class.
God, geometry. But yeah, these stores are generally found inside malls.
Mm-hmm.
They're not big.
Yeah, they're not. The one I first came across was outside. So it was, well, it wasn't individual, I mean separate as in that it was just in the middle of nowhere. It was in a plaza, or an outdoor kind. But generally, the ones in malls seem to be a bit smaller.
Yeah.
Just because of the limited spacing they have. And, you know, the products are relatively the same. They don't have China, not that I know of,
No,
or water fountain. But they do have a larger variety of makeup. They have
lots of
headbands, things like that. Yes, they have keyboards, mice,
speakers,
chargers, and stuff like that. I have a Miniso mouse.
Me too.
So if you wanna
sponsor us,
sponsor my next mouse.
But yeah, they also do a lot of collabs, I guess, with not brands, but things. So like they have a Marvel collection. They have a wee Bear Bears collection. I know that they did a Sanrio one, but it's not as big as the Marvel collection that they have. The Marvel is like the main one that they have right now, I'm pretty sure.
They also had a Pink Panther one.
Oh, yes, that was also a big one.
Mm-hmm.
As for the plushies,
the only important part of this.
Yes, I would rate this the same rating as one's, so a 4.5 out of 5. And this is because their plushies are very, very cute. Like, I think I could look at any plushie in the store and be like, yes, I don't think there's anything funky or like wonky with that. However, they do have less selection of plushies, and it's more of a they're different every single time I visit a Miniso. So there isn't that like stability. They're always coming out with new things.
Right.
There are like a few like select plushies that are like their main ones, but they're always different. And sometimes they're only branded plushies, so they're only like We Bear Bears or Marvel.
Right.
So if you're not into that, then they're kind of like not useful to you, I guess. But how are plushies useful in the first place? But yeah, I think
it's funny coming from.
I know. In terms of cuteness, though, and softness and size, they are 4.5 out of 5. It's like ones. Sometimes they're a little wonky looking, but there's a lot of them. And Miniso, they're always pretty cute, but there's not a lot of them, so they even out. So 4.5 out of 5.
Interesting. When I guess I understand that reasoning. At first, I was gonna say that it sounds like Miniso would have a slightly lower rating than ones, but then you're balancing this out with different cons. Okay, I can live with that. Not that I needed, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, and Miniso also does this thing where they have like mystery bags, but also they have like a free zone, I guess. So if you spend a certain amount of money, you can get an item from the free zone and like for free, obviously. And they have mystery bags, but generally I found that the mystery bags are just items that they can't sell. So it's a lot of Marvel themed things in these mystery bags because
Oh, so like freebies.
Yeah.
Like random freebies.
Not freebies.
Well, yeah, you have to pay for it, but
yeah,
that's what a lot of stores do.
Yeah.
One also had little packages or gift mystery bags that you can buy, but there's usually a lot larger
and more
expensive. And it's a huge variety of things. I remember many years ago someone bought me one and I was impressed by the stuff that was in there. The amount, the quality. It was a lot. A huge bag.
I was at a one's recently and they had a mystery bag going for, or not a mystery bag, you could see what was inside of it. More of like just a bag of things. Going for a lot. Not a lot.
But when you put it that way, it's not as interesting.
But it had like, there was a humidifier in there. They had like a rice container, like a big one.
Okay.
And then they had 2 water bottles, a mini plushie, and you know those like massage guns?
Yes.
They had one of those in there.
I see.
It was crazy. But yeah.
How much was it going for?
I think like with tax around $75.
That, I guess, cheaper than buying everything separately.
Yeah, because normally the massage guns that they sell at once, which is something that they have a lot of, surprisingly, they normally go for around like $60 to $50. So all of those things in there are definitely worth more than $75.
Pretty good deal, I guess.
Yeah.
No, it's a pretty good deal.
It is. So next we'll talk about Muji. Muji was originally founded in Japan in 1980, and their name translates to no brand quality goods, which we find kind of funny because Muji has a very specific aesthetic to it. Very specific. If you've been inside a Muji, you understand what we're talking about, but they're going for the minimalist, beige, no branded, I guess, aesthetic. But everybody knows what this aesthetic is. And because they know what it is, therefore like it becomes the brand. You know?
Yeah, I see a lot of people, for example, if they have editing softwares or stuff like that, if they have a digital notebook, they'll try to make the cover look like a Muji notebook cover.
Oh, yeah.
And it's interesting because Muji really is just a no-name brand, but they have these very specific shades of beige or just very toned down colors. And they don't have a brand, but they do.
Yeah.
It's very specific. And if you were to ask someone to describe the brand, they would definitely have something to say. They wouldn't just say, oh, they don't really have a brand. No, they do.
And it's a very specific brand as well.
Yeah. You know, their cases are all clear. Their pens and stuff, you know, they have their own very specific shape.
And it's not that it's a not aesthetically pleasing aesthetic, I guess. It's that it is
very aesthetic many times.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's just that the fact that they like are considered no brand quality goods, and yet they're very much, they've acquired a brand for themselves.
I guess you can't help it when you're in a business, because every business has to have a brand.
Yeah.
You know, we have a brand.
Yeah, we do.
We got our little fortune cookie, yellow, brown. That's our brand. Imagine if you had a no. Is it possible to have a no-name brand podcast?
Oh God. I think even just like calling it No Name would just associate it with the Canadian No Name brand.
That's true. The no-name brand has a pretty interesting aesthetic. It's just yellow.
They're also yellow, I just realized.
They're what?
They're also yellow like us. In brand wise.
Oh, I was taken aback for a second that you would make a comment like that.
No, I mean in terms of brand.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think that's very funny.
No.
But yeah, they also use yellow in their branding, like fresh off the broke. Just to clarify, because that was a bit.
Yeah, I worded that wrong. I meant the branding.
Because you just said just like us. Like, really? 40-something episodes later?
No, I didn't
Now
mean it
you're the
like
bad
that.
guy.
I swear.
Do you rate the plush? Do they have plushies?
No. And for that reason, I give Muji a 0.
Wow.
There are no plushies.
If you're at a Muji in a different country and they have plushies, let us know. Because I don't think I've ever seen plushies at Muji before.
No. I feel like Muji isn't it's more catered towards like young adults,
Mm-hmm.
like especially university students. I don't know. I just feel like university/college students and the Muji aesthetic just hand in hand.
Are you trying to say that university students can't have plushies?
Kind of, yeah.
But
Well, it's not socially acceptable, which is why Muji doesn't do that. I don't know.
Are you their spokesperson? What are you doing right now?
Yeah, I am the spokesperson for Muji.
I was gonna say that I think it might be because their range of products is more just catered towards living.
Yeah, yeah. It's not really like
There aren't a lot of novelty items.
no.
Not the whole college student can't have. Man, there are college students out there that brought a plushie from home and they're listening to this right now. And now they're looking at their plushie in shame.
No, don't. That's literally me right now. I'm just saying.
Ouch. On behalf of the college students listening with plushies, we're mad at you.
I'm mad at myself.
Oh no. You should issue a plushie apology.
I will be posting a formal apology later. Please look out for that.
We'll hold you accountable.
Another brand that was founded in Japan is Daiso, and I'm sure this is probably the most popular one.
Also the oldest one.
Yes, true. It was founded in 1977. Impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And it originally started off as like a street vendor. So the guy who founded Daiso was just a street vendor, and then now it has become the Daiso that we know today. We all
Daiso
love
Monopoly.
it. Yeah.
Daiso is the one store in this list that has multiple floors.
Mm, yes.
Especially if you go to some of their flagship stores in Korea or Japan, they might have 2 or 3 floors.
Mm,
I've never been, but I've seen videos and I've seen pictures,
mhm.
and it's really cool.
Yeah, this is the one store that neither of us have ever actually been inside.
Yeah, we haven't physically been in Daiso before.
No,
but we've seen
many videos.
Mm-hmm. And given their size, they have a huge variety of
Mhm.
each type of item that the other ones also have.
Mhm.
And the interior, it kind of reminds me of well, I guess it's the other way around. Uniqlo reminds me of Daiso interior-wise.
Yeah.
Not Daiso doesn't remind me of Uniqlo because Daiso came first.
Yeah.
All right, let me check that very quickly. Uniqlo was founded in Oh,
It was founded first.
1949.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't originally called Uniqlo. Yeah, it wasn't. And then
Oh.
eventually in the 90s, they started branding themselves differently.
Oh. Interesting.
So I guess Daiso reminds me of Uniqlo.
Interesting. Yeah. I think it's similar to Miniso in the well illuminated type of store.
Has nice lights, not painful.
But then again, this is taught like us describing the videos that we've seen. We don't know what
Yeah.
it's actually like inside.
And people walk around those stores with carts.
Yeah.
They don't really have. I mean, you can walk around with a basket in any of the other ones, but you're basically guaranteed to walk around in one. I mean, with one in a Daiso because it's so large, and you
Yeah.
probably have many things that you want to buy, or you accidentally buy a bunch of things.
Yeah. Daiso is definitely the biggest store, like physically, out of all of the ones we've talked about.
How are you gonna do a plushie rating if you've never been?
Based on what I've seen, they look very nice. But since I've never been, that pegs it down to, I'll say 3 out of 5. No, 2.5 out of 5.
Whoa!
You pass, but I've never been, so you don't get anything else.
Wow.
That's all I can say.
I wonder what the Daiso fans feel about that.
Probably mad. I feel like I always see like a Daiso plushie like haul.
When Rihanna goes to Daiso for real, she'll do an update
Yeah.
and do a
I'll
proper
update the
formal
list.
rating.
Hmm.
Yeah.
More
It'll
in
be
depth.
15 seconds.
Yeah.
Hey everyone! So remember that episode we did about everything stores? I went to Daiso. Remind you just hate the plushies.
Yeah. 0. No,
I
I
should
feel
have
like
just.
I'd like them.
Yeah.
They look nice. But yeah, we can't really say much about Daiso since we've never been. However, in Canada, there is another store that's kind of Daiso, not really. I'll explain. So, there is a store called Omomo, and it is Japanese, but technically Japanese Canadian because it was originally Daiso Canada, but then all of the Daisos in Canada were rebranded as Omomo. So the stores in Canada are now just Omomo. And so you might be thinking, oh, it's basically just the same as a Daiso, just called Omomo. But they sell things that aren't necessarily from Daiso, like they have different suppliers. They do contain some Daiso products, but yeah, they don't specifically sell Daiso products. It's a weird situation.
That was a bit hard to wrap my head around.
Yeah. It's weird because so essentially what happened was Daiso opened up a store or multiple stores, I believe, in Canada. And then they rebranded slash like disconnected themselves from Daiso and renamed into Omomo. So now all of these stores or all of the used to be Daisos are now called Omomo. And then they started opening up more Omomo locations in Canada. So right now there are only Omomos and no Daisos. But recently, they opened up a Daiso in Canada. So now there are Omomos and like one Daiso.
It's in Vancouver, right?
I think so.
Or, well, BC.
Yeah.
Play it safe with that.
They kind of played themselves.
Yeah, I wonder what happened there.
Yeah. It's weird because it's like they did sell Daiso items and they still do, but that's not their main supplier anymore. So seems like I don't know.
I guess it was originally supposed to be a sister store, but then something happened.
Yeah. I don't
Change
know.
of heart, change of mind.
Yeah, and then they just opened up another Daiso
Sleight of hand.
after just like rebranding everything. I don't know. Weird.
What are your
But
thoughts on the
still.
plushies?
Um, I give 2 out of 5.
Oh, really?
Yes, because they don't really have plushies, and if they do, they're small, and they're not really like character plushies. It's more of like, here's this heart plushie.
I don't think I've ever seen plushies at home. At least not the times I went. Either that or there weren't enough for me to notice them.
Mm. I think it's more plushies that happen to be keychains and cushions that look close enough to plushies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Momo. The ones that I've seen, they're also just one floor, but they're pretty big.
They are big.
It's one, well, not, I don't know if I want to say huge, but it's a pretty large store.
Mm.
It's not, a mini, so minis are pretty tiny. Oh,
Yeah.
Momo, the design, like wooden floors, very high-rise ceiling.
Yeah, very.
And they also have a similar organization with as to one, except they don't have the fountain.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's a running thing. Only one has the
Yeah.
fountain. And
But Omoma also has like in some stores at least they have like big character what's it called? Statue? Not statue, but like just like a big cat or something that you want to take a picture with.
some Momo stores have photo ops.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember they had this giant box that looks like, well, this giant photo box kind of thing, transparent, and then there was text on it that
Mm.
mimicked magazine covers,
Oh
and
yeah, I
people
know what
would
you're
go
talking about.
inside or go behind and take
Yeah,
pictures.
very interactive.
And generally, one thing that's interesting about Omomo is that the middle is relatively more empty, and then things are around on the edges of the building.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
They also have a lot of like very nice pottery.
They have a lot of kitchen appliances or home appliances. They have, compared to some of the other ones. Well, maybe not ones. One has a bunch of kitchen appliances and home appliances.
Yeah.
Compared to some of the other ones, for example, Muji or Miniso,
Yeah.
Momo has a ton more bowls, cups, spatulas,
Hmm.
things like that. They have a pretty wide variety of snacks. The
Yes,
ones that
they
I've been
do.
to, they have many rows of shelves. They have a lot of drinks, a lot of candy.
Hmm.
I don't think, in my experience going to a one, they really had food.
No, I've never been to a ones with food.
Me either. I don't think they sell that. Which
No.
makes sense because it is one's better living,
Yeah.
and so they just have a general variety of things that you need in life,
Yeah.
including a bunch of plushies.
Yes. Oh yeah, and Omomo used to be like if the product doesn't have a price tag on it, I think it was like $2.25.
I think it was
like
$2.
Yeah.
And then they raised it.
Yeah, they raised it, and then like now a lot of things have different prices. So.
Yeah, I guess because it was so popular and a lot of people were shopping, they couldn't. It didn't work anymore, that model.
Yeah.
I remember back then it used to be that very few things had a price tag on it.
Yeah.
But then now basically everything does.
Yeah.
And I remember when I walked in that one time, there was a sign that was basically a little apology or explanation on the new change, and I was like,
Oh.
Aw, all right. Oh well. I understand.
Yeah, it's like it used to be just a next level dollar store type place.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's more expensive than your
Mm-hmm.
typical dollar store.
Yeah. And the stationery is by far more expensive.
Yeah,
It's so much
definitely.
more expensive. I could not. I mean, I could, but
Which one's your favorite out of all of the ones we've talked about?
mm, probably one.
Hmm.
I like Omomo. I haven't had a long enough history with Omomo.
Hmm.
Maybe if I give it some more time. But generally, I think I might like ones the most. There was a period of time where I really liked Miniso when it was new, and I had just seen
Yeah.
it in China because I thought, whoa, the products here are super nice. This is very, I don't know if modern's the right word, but modern, they got like the white aesthetic, which, according to art history,
Oh man.
you know. The white cube, that's all I'll say. And Miniso is a little bit more accessible than one. There's more Minisos than one,
Yeah.
but one is also a way smaller company. When I looked it up in preparation for the episode, they said there were about 8 locations for one, which is way fewer than Miniso or Daiso.
Yeah.
It's more than Omomo because Omomo was new.
Yeah.
At least I think that it's more than Omomo. Don't quote me on that. Someone quotes me on it.
Now that you've heard a bit about everything stores and possibly some stores that are near you.
If you're in Canada, or
Yes.
actually, they have some of these in America and
Yeah.
worldwide in general. Not one. One is strictly Canadian.
Yeah.
Or Ontario. Ontarian.
One's is for us. Sorry. We're gatekeeping ones.
Oh no.
But anyways, now that you know about these everything stores, you should do some of your Christmas shopping or just shopping in general at these places because they have literally everything.
And even if you don't have specific things you need to buy or you have to buy from these places, it's just a fun time to go. And of course, maybe with the exception of Daiso because it's larger, since none of these places in general are as large as IKEA, you couldn't spend a whole day there. You can also eat at IKEA.
Yeah.
But, just take a little field trip there and bask in the aesthetic.
And the good vibes.
Buy a bunch of things. Well, not like irresponsibly, but you can buy some snacks, buy some stationery, check some things out.
Treat yourself.
Responsibly. And as always, thank you for tuning in today. Leave a comment down below about if you were already aware of any of these stores, if you have a favorite one, maybe we introduce a new one to you. whether it may be one that you've never been to because you didn't know about it, or you've never been to because it's not local to you. And also, one thing I'm pretty curious about is what you think of Rihanna's plushie rating. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think she gave some of them way too generous ratings? Do you think she didn't give some of them high enough ratings? Specifically Daiso. You know,
I've never been.
And when Rihanna and I go to Daiso, you know, when they open here, or if we, I don't know, go to Japan, we'll let you know. We'll do a little update video or an update post on our social media at Fresh Off the Broke everywhere.
So stay tuned for that. It'll be great. Rihanna's plushie reviews.
Yeah, and we can do a formal tier list.
Yes. If you guys like this episode and want to stay connected with us, check out our website in the description. It contains links to our streaming platforms such as Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and more. Follow us for more behind-the-scenes content, announcements, and other random things we decide to put on there.
See you next time.
Bye.